As the lights dimmed inside London's O2 Arena, a wave of electricity surged through the packed crowd. Anthony Joshua stepped out from the tunnel, his expression focused, his body language calm, but loaded with intent. After suffering back-to-back defeats, this was more than just another fight. It was redemption under the brightest spotlight. Across the ring stood Jermaine the 989 assassin Franklin, confident, composed, and ready to shock the world. The atmosphere crackled with tension as fans sensed the magnitude of the moment. Every camera flash, every roar from the stands added to the drama. Joshua entered at his heaviest weight ever, a sign of strength and strategy, while Franklin bounced lightly, determined to prove he belonged at the elite level. When the opening bell rang, the noise inside the arena exploded, and instantly the chess match began. Joshua pumped out a stiff jab, testing range and authority. Franklin slipped low, countering sharply, showing he would not be intimidated. It was a battle of composure versus ambition, power versus precision, and from the very first exchange, it was clear this contest would demand courage, discipline, and heart from both heavyweights. Joshua quickly began asserting control with a thudding jab that snapped Franklin's head back and echoed through the arena. Each punch carried intent, each step measured and purposeful. Franklin responded with clever head movement, ducking under right hands and firing counters that kept Joshua alert. The exchanges grew sharper, more intense. A crushing straight right from Joshua brought the crowd to its feet, while Franklin answered with a quick combination that reminded everyone he was dangerous. Joshua mixed in heavy shots to the body, digging hooks into Franklin's ribs, trying to sap his energy early. The American stayed resilient, absorbing punishment and firing back with ambition. The tension was constant. Every punch thrown felt like it could change everything. Joshua's power was evident, but Franklin's toughness refused to crack. As the rounds unfolded, sweat flew under the bright lights, and both men dug deep. The O2 Arena buzzed with anticipation, sensing that while Joshua was ahead, Franklin remained determined to disrupt the script. It was controlled aggression from AJ, but the threat of a dramatic shift lingered in every exchange. By the middle rounds, Joshua's confidence visibly grew. He began feinting more, stepping subtly to the right to create new angles, following the instructions from his corner. A tremendous left uppercut split Franklin's guard, drawing a deafening roar from the crowd. Joshua followed with a sharp 1-2, showcasing the fluid combination punching that once made him the most feared finisher in the division. Yet Franklin refused to fold. He dug to the body, landed a solid right hand over the top, and forced Joshua into tense exchanges on the inside. The fight transformed into a dramatic duel of willpower. Franklin's courage kept him in the contest, while Joshua's discipline kept him in control. The physical battle was intense, but the psychological warfare was just as compelling. Every round carried the question: could Joshua produce the knockout statement the critics demanded, or would Franklin's resilience drag him into deeper waters? The crowd sensed the urgency rising. Each exchange became heavier, each moment more meaningful as the contest edged toward its decisive stages. As the championship rounds approached, urgency filled the air inside the arena. Franklin knew he likely needed something dramatic and began pressing forward with greater aggression. He fired combinations, trying to back Joshua up, searching desperately for a breakthrough. Joshua responded with composure, meeting aggression with precision. A perfectly timed right hand landed flush, followed by a snapping uppercut that cut through Franklin's guard. The crowd roared again, sensing a possible finish. Joshua unleashed a flurry, jab, right hand, hook, momentarily overwhelming his opponent. Yet Franklin's durability shone through. He absorbed the punishment and kept advancing. The drama intensified as both men traded heavy shots in close quarters. Sweat sprayed under the lights, and the noise inside the O2 reached fever pitch. Joshua's footwork remained disciplined, circling, resetting, picking his moments carefully. He was ahead, but he wanted more. Every punch in these late rounds carried not just physical force, but emotional weight, the desire to silence critics and reclaim dominance. It was high-stakes heavyweight boxing at its most gripping. In the 12th and final round, both fighters summoned their last reserves of energy. Franklin charged forward with determination. knowing this was his final opportunity to alter the outcome. Joshua stood firm, firing a thunderous right hand that snapped Franklin's head back in the closing minute. The arena erupted as the final seconds ticked away. They exchanged one last flurry before the bell rang, signaling the end of a fiercely contested battle. Brief tensions flared before the referee stepped in, restoring order. Then came the anxious wait for the scorecards. When the announcer declared 117-111 unanimously in favor of Anthony Joshua, the crowd exploded in approval. It was not the explosive knockout some had predicted, but it was a commanding, disciplined performance. Joshua had shown maturity, patience, and control under immense pressure. On a night filled with doubt and expectation, he delivered a powerful reminder that his journey in the heavyweight division was far from finished, and that redemption, earned through grit and resolve, can be just as thrilling as destruction.